Hey, how's it going? This is Joshua Ely, and this is video number 2 of Guitar 101. Okay, so now we're going to get into guitar chords, and I think the easiest key to start with is the key of G, because I think every guitarist uses G all the time. Okay, so here's some theory to start with. In a key, you have the main chord family would be your root chord, which is the 1 chord. And what I mean by 1, I'll count in numbers and I'll explain this. Um, and like I said, with the root chord is what key you're in, and so you count by numbers up to 8 notes. So in the key of G, G is your one note. So G, 2 is A, B is 3, C is 4, D is 5, E is 6, F sharp is 7, and G is 8, which is the octave. All right. And so I will teach you 4 chords today, and these are the 4 main chords that you'll need for playing songs. Most songs usually stay within these 4 chords. Okay. So the root, or the 1 chord, is going to be your G. All right. So the first note is on the E string up here, top string on the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, and you're playing a G note. You're going to do it, and you're going to use your middle finger to rest right there, right in the 3rd fret. Okay. Your next finger will be on the 3rd fret of your B string down here. You're going to lay it right on the 3rd fret. And then the next note is going to be the 3rd fret of the bottom E string. It's the same note as up here. Alright? And altogether that's your, it's called a G5 chord because it has just the 1 and the 5, but we're just going to call it a G, and this is your 1 chord. One thing to remember about this is you want to, you can play with your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. You can if you like to. It sounds kind of muddy, so I usually just mute it. What I do is I slightly lay down my middle finger ever so slightly so that it touches the A string to where it mutes it. Don't press down on it, but touch it so that it mutes it. And altogether you have G. Alright. The next chord is the 4 chord, which is our C chord. This one's going to be a C2, but we're just going to call it a C. All you have to do is move your middle finger down to the A string. That's it. You just keep these just the way they are, and you move this one down to the C. This is a C right here, the 3rd fret of the A string. So you have a C2 chord. 2 things. You need to make sure that you have the top string muted as well. Just what I would do is that I would use your thumb to come around and slightly touch the top string. Don't press down on it, touch it so that mutes it, and do the same thing as with the G chord. Mute your D string. This time, you're going to have your middle finger slightly touching the D string so that it mutes it. But altogether, you have your C. Alright, next chord is going to be your minor 6 chord, and that because the E is the 6, so your E minor 6. Another theory lesson is that the minor 6 is always the relative minor of the root key. So you'll hear the terms relative major, relative minor. That's usually kind of the main minor chord in a key, if you will. So one way to form the relative minor is by taking your root note and then putting the 6 on top of it. And so basically an E minor is like taking a G and putting an E on top of it. That's basically what it is. Anyway, so E minor is pretty simple. It's just like the G chord. You have your B and G just the same as they were before. At this time, we're going to put our pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the A string and our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. And we're going to strum those all together. A nice minor chord right there. All right. And then you can strum all the strings in that one. You need all of them to get that full minor sound. All right. And the last chord for today is the D chord. And this one's a little different. You're going to keep your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, but this time we're going to put our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd fret of the E string, the bottom E string. That'll be an F sharp note, and then we're going to put our pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. That's an A note. So altogether you have the D string. You strum the A string down. You mute the top E string. And that's your D chord. And what's another thing you can do is create a suspended chord by just putting your pinky back to where it was started. So those are the 4 main chords in the key of G. And what's great about the key of G is they're so easy to switch back and forth between. And it does take practice. It's not, you have to practice to make the transitions fast, but it's a lot easier to get there than some other keys. But yes, the really important thing to remember is to keep your ring finger and your pinky where they are, except for the D chord. But you always keep your ring finger on the 2nd fret. The 3rd fret of the B string. And if you want to do a D suspended chord, you keep your pinky right where it is. And so you can practice that. All right. And once you master those chords, you can play a ton of songs, because I'll talk more about this later, but then we can start talking about the capo, about playing different keys using the same chord shapes except up the fret, and you can play lots of different songs and different keys using those same chord shapes. All right, thank you for watching, and tune in for more later. Bye.